Yeah, it's your boy Kurt Classic back in the building, baby. Ain't nobody do it like me. I saw my boy Don Dada trying to fake the funk, but he can't do it like me. But anyways, we in the house, man. We back in the building. I got right next to me on my, what's this?
Left. That's the left.
On my left.
It's your boy Big Zeke back in the building one more game.
And I got on my far left.
Big Dog Jam of the Patriarch. What's going on, everybody? Boom.
And I got right next to me on my right.
When you become the Patriarch? I don't know. You changing up your name. It's Jam Jug. I remember it was Jam Jug.
You know, I'm trying some new stuff.
Oh, you're trying new stuff? Okay, all right, yeah. Got a new outfit on. He's a new guy.
All right, who I got on my right?
You got your boy Don Dada. I'm here. Where's my? Yeah, I need that.
He forgot what button it was.
Hit him with the fart joint. Come on.
No, yeah. If you're going to don't hit me with anything.
Oh man, hey, but it's good to be back, man. I've been out for a minute. Been on vacation, taking some vacation. You know what I mean?
You look refreshed.
You know, hey man, listen, man. We all need it. I had to get my Lou on, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to get my late to the game on for a little bit. You know,
he ain't late for no vacation.
You might be late to the game. Shout out to Lou, man. He at home with his sick kids right now.
He at home, man.
Praying for you, bro.
Better.
We miss you.
Absolutely.
Yo, this seat is heavy. Hurry up and get back because I don't like sitting here.
No, Zeke didn't want to sit there for nothing.
Yeah, he in the spotlight.
He's looking at like, who's sitting there? Not me.
He in the spotlight today, but it's all good, man. So we got some stuff that we want to bring up. We got some subjects that it's going to be a little, might be a little heated. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. Me and Gemma might get into it a little bit. We'll see how it happens.
We are not.
You know what I'm saying?
We haven't had that in a long time. I think we need that.
Yeah, we haven't, man.
Yeah, we think we need that.
I think, we got to bring
You
something.
can miss me with that. We both agree on it.
No,
we both agree on it. There's
we do.
There's no opposition.
There's no quorums or nothing, man.
None
There's no
whatsoever.
kerfuffles or
Might be a
anything.
boring episode.
I've been bringing him to the right, fellas. He's coming because he ain't disagreeing. So that means I've been pulling him over.
Nah, that's just the way I feel. You know,
might have to
it's not about
instigate
left or
something.
right.
We got to instigate some stuff.
We got it.
We'll see what happens. But we're going to dive into it. All right. Our topic for today, or at least one of the things we're going to touch on for today, is this thing that's going on in Oregon, this bill that has been recently passed in Oregon. Gemma, you got it pulled up real quick?
I do not.
Just to give us a little bit, so somebody give us some background on this bill that has just recently been passed in Oregon. We're going to dive into that in just a second here.
Gist of it is, from what I understand, they say you don't need to know how to read and write to get a diploma from high school.
In
correct
terms, that's how you breaking that down.
I don't know if that's correct. I remember that's what y'all said in the group discussion.
I think we need to pull it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need
Further
to
Senate
some
Bill
context.
744, which was passed in June and signed into law last month, suspends the proficiency requirements for students for 3 years. So pretty much for the next 3 years, it looks like there's no requirement for students to have a certain score
On the test.
in the subjects of reading and writing in order to get a diploma.
Now, why
So
was
they
this
just
bill?
hold up. So let me get this straight. So you just go to class, right? That's it. Your attendance just get you
It
the
seemed like
diploma,
You just show up, get a participation trophy.
right? That's what it seemed like, right? That's what I'm saying,
That's
right?
the equivalent of participation.
I mean, I'm
trophy,
hoping they you gotta at least try. Just don't show up. I'm hoping that's not what it is.
New Oregon law suspends graduating testing requirement.
Oh, so you don't have to test to
You
graduate.
don't have to
Okay.
score well on the test to get a
Right.
diploma, which
So basically, just show up to class.
Exactly.
So check it out. It suspends a requirement for a basic skills test in math, reading, and writing to graduate high school. Is being praised by advocates as a way to rethink education standards, and sharply criticized by others as misguided effort that will hurt children's learning in the long run.
Okay.
Yeah.
The question I have is, where was this when I was trying to graduate
That'd
from
be
high school?
great, 'cause
that
I
would have been
graduated.
I needed that. Oh my bad. Okay.
I guess she put this in the she put this as a requirement
Oh, it's
as part of the Stay Home Save Lives order. So this happened in March of last year.
Oh, okay.
During the whole pandemic. So I guess kids were struggling
At home.
in these subjects, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We'll still give you a diploma."
Democrat Governor Kate Brown,
Yeah.
a Democrat and a female.
No.
I'm just saying.
What did that mean? The last part,
Yeah,
and
we
a
was-
female.
we was
I don't
just
know. I don't know where you went with that.
We was talking about that earlier. I'm glad it wasn't on camera.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what that means.
Sorry.
But
Okay, so let me play devil's advocate.
okay.
Everyone can't homeschool, right? Right or wrong? Right? That's a struggle. I know that was a struggle for my wife. Like here, like when there was no school and she had to do everything online. You have to be extremely organized. You have to have a niche for at least teaching somewhat. Okay, because everyone doesn't have these golden kids that can stay on topic, do what they're supposed to do. So what I'm saying, so that's probably why she passed that bill. I'm not advocating to do that it was the right thing to do, but probably obviously people were struggling at that time, right?
But hold on.
Right, that's why she did it.
Hold on,
Hold on.
hold on.
Little paragraph. I just want to add one more paragraph.
Go ahead.
So I wanted to point out the Democratic female governor who's white, and also the people who's backing this is Rochelle Chase, a female, founder of MXM Block, an advocacy group led by black women focused on education and other social issues, said certain children struggle with exams and had been hurt by the testing requirements. So
certain children.
Yeah.
Who are those certain children?
Yeah, that bothers me.
That bothers me.
Who are those certain children?
So we were just talking about this, Kurt.
This is across
we
the board,
got our
right?
own people agreeing with this.
No, that certain children bothers me.
Who are their certain children, though?
Are they just saying minority, right? That's what they're saying?
At least when I read it, the narrative was that this was supposed to be something to help the black and brown community.
So saying that we can't read and write, that's what basically they're saying.
And again, Kurt, how is this going to help the black and brown community?
It won't.
Thank you, sir.
Hold on. They're talking about, are they talking because there's a lot of immigrants over there?
In Oregon? I don't think immigrants
black and brown community.
It's cold up there. It's
I'm
cold
just
in
saying,
Oregon.
I don't know if that's why they because
we don't be up there.
The migration of I'm just saying,
bro,
maybe that's why, or
nah, man. It's just whack altogether. They can miss me with that. That's whack altogether. That's some old bull jive. All right, this just call it for
they
what
can miss
it
you
is.
with that. Okay,
Yeah. You
they're trying to say we slower, right?
Thank you.
My question is,
that's what you say, feeling, right, Kurt?
Bro.
My question is, you lower these requirements for these kids to get these high school diplomas. What's going to happen when they go out and try to get a job, or they try to go on to college and they can't survive and succeed in college and in a real job?
Oh, that's easy.
They weren't able to. They weren't forced to prove that they have at least. I mean, you don't have to score perfect on these tests. You just gotta get what, a 70?
I think so.
65.
Yeah. A C.
That's bare minimum. You taking away the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And now they go on to try to succeed, and they don't have the basic reading skills and the math skills and the writing skills, and these jobs just kick them to the curb. And now you got
no. There's a solution to that. Then we have to downplay the educational quality of college.
Oh.
And then we'll have to downplay the quality of work required at companies, and that's just dumb everybody down. And then
unless unless we just they don't qualify to go to the next level, go to college. They can never be entry level,
right? And you can never get certain jobs.
And then you gotta go.
You're gonna get those mediocre, the ones that don't nobody else want.
Well, they get what, $18 an hour to work at Subway now, something like that.
Yeah, I seen one for $17, man. That's starting. That's starting.
But that's if you can read and write, right, and do math.
But you ain't never gonna work the cashier.
You ain't got to read and write to make a sandwich.
No, what? Yo, cashier do everything for you now, so you don't even need to do that. I tell you what, change to give back and all that. My bad. I needed that too. That's why now I could be a cashier. So go ahead.
So now we're gonna have robots doing everything for it?
Basically, that's what it is.
That's what they want.
That's what it is.
You're just gonna have somebody standing there making sure the robot doing
no electricity. Yeah.
You walk. I was at the food. I went to the food court for the first time in a long time the other day, and I'm looking at Burger King. The last time I was there, they had real people taking orders, but I went in there and they had 2 booths. You pretty much walk in, you press what you want to order, and the dude in the back, they read it and they make it and they bring it out to you. So you order on the screen, you pay through the machine, and they bring you your food.
McDonald's got that too.
I just want to bring something up though. My bad. The majority of people that's going to be affected by this new bill is white. Do you know why?
Because ain't no black folk in
There's
Oregon.
2.2%.
That's what I'm saying.
2.2% of Oregon is black.
But
that's my point. That was my point.
You think this is going to stay isolated to Oregon though?
No,
right. You're setting a precedent.
It's going to spread.
Right.
That's why I asked that. Are there immigrants down there? Like who lives in Oregon? That's why I asked that question.
But we also not addressing the fact that, like we was talking about earlier, I don't believe it's going to affect the white community.
Why not?
Because there's a mindset in the white community there's an expectation of success in the white community. All right? And there's an expectation that is placed upon the kids in those communities that you don't see in predominantly inner city communities, whether it be black, brown, dominant, whatever the case may be. You don't see that same expectation to succeed. You may have people saying you can succeed. If you try hard enough, you can. But in the white community, there's no real, there's no feeling of, well, if you try hard enough, you can. It's an expectation that you will. You are going to succeed.
Why though?
Because you have the resources, you have all that you need. You have parents that have already established themselves, and
isn't that individually based?
But as a community, they had a huge head start. We gonna just dismiss that? They've had a huge head start in establishing that mindset within their community, right? Yeah. So now you've had so many opportunities that black people was trying to get at one point, and then they got red taped or whatever the case may be. You got cut out of those kind of opportunities, all right? And then now there seems to be a mindset within the community of color that there's no hope of success. There's a mindset that you're going to struggle because the white man keeping you down. When the reality is the white man no longer has to keep you down.
Right.
You keeping yourself down.
Well, that's the
That's the narrative that's being spent, right? And it's being believed within the communities of color. That's not the narrative that the white people have in their community. They don't have that narrative.
Who is influencing that narrative though to the minority community?
Follow the money.
You gotta follow the money. It ain't us. I can tell you that. Yeah. It ain't us.
Hey, Dave Jones, what's that dude's name that was the main campaign
George
contributor?
Soros.
George Soros.
There you go.
That's I think
follow the money.
George Soros.
What about George Soros?
He's a multi-billionaire who's investing in.
He's a kingmaker, basically.
Hundreds of millions of dollars in BLM, LGBTQ, a whole bunch of programs that's conditioning the minds of people to think that they're oppressed by this evil country and there's an enemy trying to hold them down.
Here's the thing.
And who follows that?
Democrats. I'm trying not to get political.
And which is a lot of what?
People of color, unfortunately.
That's what I'm saying. That
it is a lot of people of color.
Come on, guys, that's what I'm saying. Let's be real now. If we're gonna keep it real, let's be real.
It's because they've bought into this narrative that number one, a party can solve your issues. Okay, and then they bought into the narrative that the Republican Party is your enemy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's the third narrative? That we can't help ourselves. We need the white man to help us.
Right. Or government.
Yeah, just government.
We need government. We need big government
to help us.
Yeah.
The problem isn't the fact that these people are quote unquote influencing us to believe that we're oppressed and that we're behind the eight ball, because if you want to look at the fact of the matter, there are institutions put in place that leave us at a disadvantage. The problem is, like you just said, depending on thinking that the only way to get out of it is depending on other people to help us.
Right.
When if we came together and stopped beefing over stupid stuff, we could definitely pull ourselves out of this.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
we
now
could definitely pull ourselves out of this.
Great point, and well said.
I've been saying that for years.
But so how do? This is the thing. This narrative, I've been hearing this a lot. You'll hear this type of talk. Thank God that this, this is being addressed more. But where do we climb over the hump that it starts to get into action? Because I hear, it's constantly being mentioned. It's constantly being promoted. You know what I mean? All this awareness, all this, oppression that now, I like to call it true history, is starting to be educated, right? The real about our history is starting to be educated, and now we starting to learn
what really happened.
Really happened. Yeah. Real history, right? When does that take us to the next level?
I think the problem is the demise and the downfall didn't happen overnight.
Okay.
Right.
So
there you go.
the getting out of that hole isn't going to happen overnight. But when you look at the type of the society that we're dealing with that microwave, it has to happen now or I'm losing interest.
Right.
people gotta be willing to put in the hard work and gotta be willing to stay in for the long haul. And you gotta come to the realization that if you're putting in this work and you're being diligent about it, you got an army with you. You might not get to the mountaintop, but if you pave the way for the people coming behind you and they see the example of you trying to dig your community out of this hole, maybe, hopefully, prayerfully, they'll follow suit and pick up where you left off. And eventually, it might not be my generation and it might not be my son, but maybe my grandkids or my great grandkids will finally be able to pull the community out of the doldrums that we've been in for so long.
I think as being TATS Nation, we have to safely say that God is starting to be taken out of the equation.
Right.
Come on now. It's not ironic that the more God is taken out of the equation, the worse we're getting.
Absolutely.
And that goes to Jama's point, like when we was talking about, who's in control of New York State, and New York State keeps against God out, and now
our people are suffering over it.
Come on now. Violence, everything.
It's a great point Zeke brought up. If we just play our part, eventually our future generations can stand on the shoulders of their ancestors, which paved the way. But another thing we need to look at too is we can't be painting black and brown people with a broad brush.
That's right.
Not all. This is what I hate when if a white person, Democrat, would come up to me and be like, "Hey, we're trying to help your people because your people are suffering," and I look at them like, "No, my people aren't suffering.
Right.
All my people doing good. There's a percentage of my people that's doing bad, but why are you only focusing on them? Focus on all the success we having." You know what I'm saying? So I think black people should also do that. Be like, don't look at us like we all messed up, but we doing great.
See, that's part of
you know what I'm saying?
That's part of the
mindset. The mindset, right?
The only success from our community that's being advertised and put on the pedestal are the rappers and the ballers.
Right.
Yeah,
entertainment.
Sports and entertainment, and that's false.
We need more doctors put on. We need more lawyers out there. We need more. Look,
and you have them though. You have.
No, I'm not saying we need more. We need them pushed to the forefront.
Yeah.
Focus needs to be.
We need and we need them to be able to have a voice and not be silenced if they go against the narrative that's out there.
And not only that, not only not be silenced, but not be silenced by your own community.
Yeah.
That's another problem that we have, man. We in our community of color, especially black, let's say black American, whatever you want to call it, too often we silence our own people. Yeah. Our own leaders who are trying to give you and educate you on some things that you can do to better yourself.
Like they did Ben Carson.
Oh, not Ben Carson.
Ben Carson is
plenty of people,
dude.
Plenty of people. And we got to learn that, listen, everybody is going to have their own little personality, their own nuances, and their own flaws. You're not going to like everything about everybody. You're not going to agree with everybody on every principle, everything, every stance. All right? But when you're talking about something that as a whole, for the people as a whole, we need to be able to unify on the things that draw us together and leave apart those things that, that may divide us and just say, let's, for the betterment of our community, let's come together and agree on this. And let's focus on that. All right? I don't agree with you over here on this. Okay, that's cool, but I'm still willing to work with you on this right here because I know that's what's best for our community. And too often what we do is we'll look at that and we'll say, okay, yeah, he said that right, or I agree with him over here, but I don't like him. I don't like what he said over here. I don't agree with him over there, so I can't bump with him.
So you dead him.
So you dead
in
him
whole.
And now we go nowhere as a people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nowhere. You ain't getting nowhere doing that. At some point, we got to learn how to unify on the things that matter and allow the other stuff to just kind of work itself out. And if it can't, then hey, man, let it be.
I see that even in the body. I see that even in the body. You got a division. You got
body. You mean church?
Yes, the body of church. Right. Exactly. You got people that are willing to be a little more outspoken and take a firm stand on biblical principles, right? Then you got the other part of the body that's like, nah, we're gonna shy away from that. We're gonna accept more. We're gonna love more. We're not gonna emphasize on those scriptures that are clearly saying certain things and establishing certain principles. And then now not willing to meet in the middle to even talk about it. You know what I mean? Not even this. You got one side, you got the other side.
Right.
Which leads to confusion.
It does. And then we got to bring in too the spiritual aspect of this, right? So,
Apostasy.
because people always ask about, how do we do better? How do we do better? And the reality is, when you look at kingdoms throughout history, you'll notice that these kingdoms, for the most part, all of them had issues. And when it got so bad, the only thing that really brought about change was judgment. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes we as American citizens, we really don't like to deal or even talk about even the potential of America being judged.
Yeah.
Because we are so in love with the idea,
Jamma.
the American dream, the privileges and the free, because this is the land of the free. This is God country, right? We say that with one mouth, but then in our policies, we're pulling further and further away from God.
What you say about that, Jamma?
Right? So hold on before
you
because
get okay.
You better stop.
Well, we have to understand the true change won't come until the Lord judge this. Now, we can have pockets of change, but you will see in every kingdom, the only time real change came was when another kingdom came on top of that kingdom and established something different.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no kingdom ever in history that ever was able to survive forever.
Yeah.
Not one.
Not one. Yeah.
Not one. And no matter how great you may have thought it was, look at Rome. Rome was considered like the greatest kingdom of all kingdoms.
Rome was dope.
Yeah, we see where they at today.
Rome is nothing compared to the United States of America.
And I think Democrats have that problem. What you're saying, I think Republicans. Republicans have that problem of not seeing America's going to be judged too. Like we're above.
I
right?
think it's the opposite. I think they know that God has to judge this country.
And let's speak to the number one representative here.
But they believe that they can somehow stave it off if we get enough of us in office and start righting the ship. Maybe God might not judge us.
He said ship. Ship.
Yeah.
Ship.
Don't it seem like that? It seemed like you. Yeah, it seemed like. Yeah. Please, Jamma, can you shed some light on that area for us?
I think the world is going to be judged.
Okay.
And our country is a country on this world.
Thank you.
I think the whole world.
But you don't agree with that statement?
Country.
When I'm saying, that sometimes they kind of come off like we're excluded from this judgment, right?
Oh yeah. You agree
with that?
You got some conservative white Christians, right? That believe that if we right the ship, we will be excluded from that judgment. Absolutely.
You think that's biblical though?
No. I don't think that's biblical.
Okay,
No.
okay.
I don't agree with that. I think the whole world is going to be judged. There's nothing we can do to right this ship.
Yeah, I don't know where they're getting that from. That's
There's
the thing.
nothing. It's only going to get worse.
And that's the thing. Because
Right? Yeah, where you get that, right?
You get it because of the lure of what we call democracy, right? Of being able to allow people to make laws and thinking that we can make righteous laws. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We take the place of God.
Okay, amen. There you go.
In that sense of being lawmakers. And not realizing that we couldn't keep the laws that God gave us. What makes us think that we can keep the laws that we made right for ourselves?
Exactly.
We're not making laws though. We make laws, but also there's also an attempt, even as us Christians, we're just trying to follow laws. Right? So as legislators, there are Christian legislators that be like, yo, look, I'm a Christian, bro.
Make this law.
And make this law because the Bible say this. So I think gay marriage should be against the law. I think it should be against the law for someone to cut off his penis and turn it into a vagina. You know what I'm saying? I think it's against the law to do this or that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Based on the Bible.
So notice what you're saying. I think.
Yeah.
Right? So when
we're not making those laws. Those laws are already established.
But at the same time, in order for it to be adhered to in the country, it has to be established by man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is not a theocracy.
No.
If it was a theocracy, it don't matter what you think. Mm-hmm. It's just simply, God said, and that's it.
Thus saith the Lord.
Yeah, like Saudi Arabia.
That's why the
right?
Hebrew people, when when they went to ask for a king, the Lord was like, yo.
So you're saying that's the
y'all
issue
tripping.
right there.
That is
not.
the issue.
That is not. Okay.
That is the issue.
That's the issue. Okay.
Because once you get man involved in that process, bro, man is already proven you are fallible.
Mm-hmm.
You are fallible. You are carnal. You cannot keep the law. What makes you think you can write the law?
Or help keep the law.
Or help police
the law.
keeping the law by writing laws to help you to keep the law.
Hold on. But God does appoint stewards to uphold the laws of the land, or lest there be anarchy everywhere.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is that our laws are not governed by God. Our laws are governed by what man deems to be lawful.
Yes, but a lot of those laws are based on biblical laws, though.
Yeah, but again,
like you can't murder, you can't steal.
Saying, but it's coming from, for the most part, men that believe in the Father, right?
Right.
Men that believe in God. But what I'm saying, we wouldn't even have to worry about all of that. That wouldn't even be an issue if this was a theocracy. Because God would then, what he would do,
you mean if God was in control?
If God was in charge.
Oh yeah.
And you had a prophet of the day. Mm-hmm. The Lord spoke through his prophet. That was it.
Okay, so you have Saudi Arabia, which is a theocracy.
Okay.
Their laws are based on the Quran.
See?
That's Saudi Arabia. You have Qatar. Mm-hmm. You have United Arab Emirates. There's a couple of countries that have theocracies and are strictly based on the Quran. Mm-hmm. And people still break those laws. I mean, they're chopping off hands over there.
Well, that proves my point. That
death penalty if you commit adultery.
That's my point.
You know what I'm saying?
We are law breakers.
Yeah.
And so he asked a question about, in America, why does it seem like Republicans think that we can right the ship? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying, is that it's the lure of thinking that you can somehow police and govern people's hearts through policy. And you can't.
Okay, I agree with that, right? Now let's look at the other side. Let's look at the Democratic side, who's also making laws to try to right the ship, to make this country a better country.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing.
But their laws are in direct opposition to God.
Well,
at least the Republicans are trying to implement God's laws. Hold on, let me talk. Am I correct? Republicans are setting laws that are trying to implement God's laws biblically. No. God said homosexuality is wrong. God said transgenderism is wrong. God said murder and stealing. The majority of the laws they're trying to implement are biblical, where the majority of laws Democrats are implementing are extremely in direct opposition to God's laws.
I would say that we got to be careful when we, again, just like we said, not lumping a whole group of people in. Not all Democrats believe that. You got some Christian Democrats who you might consider to be conservative, I guess,
moderate Democrats
because of their beliefs, right? Yeah. And then you got some
small percentage
Republicans.
Small percentage.
You got some.
You're talking about small percentages, huh? You're talking about the edges.
It's growing. You don't want to admit it, but it's growing.
You're talking about the edges. Because the majority of Republicans are like this. The majority of Democrats are like this.
The line is growing, man. The line is growing because and how you know
lines are blurred.
Look at the laws that are being passed. They're not being passed with just the Democrats. They're being passed because you got Republicans that's folding to the.
It's a numbers
not even
game.
Necessarily folding.
Democrats got control. They got the numbers in the House. They got the numbers in the Senate.
But even when Republicans so-called had control, there were still laws that was being enacted that we know was ungodly. Yeah. Now, how does that happen?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. Let me. I was happy to instigate that. But anyway, listen. This is the big picture right here. 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 1. Now the Spirit expressly says that in later times some will depart from the faith, giving heed to deceiving spirits and doctrines of demons. Now, why do I bring that up? In the later times, it's saying, right? Because we forget this as human beings, Democrat, Republican, whatever you are.
Yeah.
If we forget, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. The first part is thy kingdom. It's his kingdom. We build our own kingdom. And this is what we have here, basically. And that's why he said his kingdom will come, because his kingdom trumps everything.
That's right.
And I'm not talking about your boy when I say Trumps. Okay?
His ears perked up when he heard Trump.
Yeah. He woke up quick. You see Jammer got a twinkle in his eye when I said that. I'm not talking about your man, Jammer. But I would agree your man was implementing some stuff. Okay, my bad. Here we go. So thy kingdom come, thy will be done, right? So we, again, take ownership. And when we take ownership, I told you guys what the Bible of the devil said. All it did was gas you up.
Yeah.
Gave power to man. And the devil knows the more power he can give to man and fill up that pride, the further we can get away from the kingdom of God.
Absolutely.
The further we... And listen, and pride is even depression. Like, pride is not only pride and, egotistical. Pride is also, about me too much. Whether it be on the other spectrum, on the other side, that's still pride. People don't like to admit that part either. Mm-hmm. So either way you go, it's still pride. Because you're all about you. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's tough. That's tough stuff to swallow.
What do you mean? I don't know. What do you mean by that?
Pride?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, even people that be like, they wallow in their sorrows and just want to, that's still pride.
Oh, that's pride. Oh,
yeah,
that's
still form of pride, regardless. So.
All right, y'all, it's that time. Trending on the streets, baby.
What up, everybody, man? Trending on the streets. Great discussion. I miss Kurt. I miss arguing with people. Oh, my God. All right, let me see what I got. Here we go. What's going on in the world today? All right, man. Bad news, like Zeke said, ain't nothing new. But this one's kind of big. 73 people injured in weekend shootings in Chicago. 10 killed. One of them is a female police officer. It's getting crazy in Chicago. More crazy.
Yeah.
Mad gangs, right?
Yeah.
Black and Hispanic.
Oh yeah.
It's both. It's both races. It's crazy. We crazy.
Oh, do you think that the lack of time being in your job, now there's more people on unemployment, more time to do mischief, can play a part in that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I think it's more about like the Israelis and the Palestinians. They've been fighting for so long, bro, and just like so much hate and resentment has been established between all these different gangs in there that it's hard to establish peace. Sure. I can't be cool with you because your big brother killed my cousin and my other cousin killed your boom boom, and it just goes back generational. Yeah. And it's hard to find peace over there, man. Yeah. And they really about their business down there in Chicago. They gangster. They be shooting up like that.
Yeah. Oh no, it's no
like
joke.
That. Where's what? What? Boom, boom, boom.
It's no joke. It's no joke.
Quick.
No joke.
It's scary. I ain't going to Chicago. It's scary. Yo, check it out. Texas Supreme Court rules that Governor Abbott can arrest Democrats who fail to show up for the second special session. They're trying to pass this bill, and Democrats are trying to bypass it. Like, well, they can never pass it if we don't show up. So the governor was like, well, if y'all don't show up, y'all gonna be arrested when y'all enter my state. A lower judge overruled it, and then the governor took it to a higher judge, and he supported it. So we about to see what happened there.
Yeah.
Political games, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of political games, and it's affecting
childish though. Yeah. To the point that it's childish.
So childish.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Come on, man. Come on. We gotta do better.
That's
how we expect how we expect these to teach these kids if that's the example we leave.
Right.
All right. There was a big Christian rally in Portland. Y'all remember Portland, right? Where Antifa took over the whole city and took over City Hall, and they just let them have the city for like a couple months. Well, a group of Christians went over there to worship and glorify Jesus Christ and have a little Christian rally, and they were harassed and bothered by Antifa, and apparently the cops did nothing about it and allowed it. So they filed a complaint and got another permit, came back and had another rally undisturbed.
Well, persecution's starting to come.
That's why I brought it up.
Isn't that the city that they don't have to test high to graduate?
Portland, Oregon. Wow, yeah.
Wow. Same state.
Same.
Yeah, same state. I think they're using that as a testing ground for the country. Zeke,
we're gonna see more of that.
Zeke had some news also. You want to shout out?
Shout out to my boy Bobby Bowden.
Bobby Bowden.
Bobby
The
Bowden.
world of college football lost a great giant. And as a Florida State fan,
Florida State.
Yeah, not Indiana.
Or
It
Texas.
was embarrassing. You know what? I hope we got that on the blooper reel. We're gonna put that out there because I mentioned Bobby Bowden and he was flustering. Indiana, some football coach. Dude, stop.
Sorry. Sorry, Zeke.
As a Florida State fan, I knew he was sick, but just the announcement of him passing it cut me deep. So shout out to Bobby Bowden and his family and the Florida State family.
Rest in peace.
No doubt.
Last but not least, Andrew Cuomo has been ousted from the governorship.
That's right.
By a whole bunch of women who accused him of sexual harassment. But I see some pictures of the ladies who are accusing him of sexual harassment with pictures hugging Cuomo and the whole nine, and these are the same women that are accusing him of sexual harassment.
Didn't he admit to some of them?
Yeah,
now
he did.
He's saying.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I heard that he's admitting to some.
He
of them.
admitted to some inappropriate, he tried to spin it. He was like, he apologized if what his behavior did made them feel. I believe that I'm paraphrasing. Basically, he was putting the ownership on them. I'm my bad if you felt like I was insulting you.
Yeah.
You're not really apologizing.
Yeah. Well, I heard some of the.
Let's just be real.
Yo, that's how my wife apologized to me. Well, I'm sorry that you got me mad and I
Stop being
did
so
this.
sensitive.
That's how she apologized. I'm like, that's not an apology.
I'm sorry that you was acting so stupid that day that I got angry at you and I had no choice.
Yeah. No, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sorry you
It's
was
the
wearing
worst.
that dress, and I thought you was coming over for a little
Figured
Netflix
you
and chill.
realize if I call you over this time of night, you knew what was
I
up.
thought you know what I mean?
You heard some of the accusations?
No.
I said one day. They said that someone had a shirt on that said something, and he read it, but with his finger, that's it, and he touched her like her chest.
My God.
This is it.
Oh my God.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
Come on, Cuomo.
Yo, that's a dirty old man move.
No, listen,
Yo.
bro.
Yeah, it is.
But I can see myself making that mistake for some reason.
Nah, bro, you better not.
Really?
Oh, here too?
Yeah, know that.
Here, okay. All right,
wow.
yeah. I mean, I can see that because you're getting
Nah, bro,
you get into the reading of
Nah,
it.
You better not. You
Bro,
better not
Sister
do.
Jen will-
Listen, all I'm saying is
Sister Jen
that.
will whop you upside the head.
Listen, all I'm saying is that the shirt, you can't read the letter sometimes because the indentations
Nah, okay.
of the shirt,
He was
and you really
reading
want
in
to read
Braille?
it because it's
He was
important.
reading in Braille?
Yeah, because
He had to touch it?
But you want to take out the indentations so you can read clear what's across. I just
Okay,
wanna,
I'm sorry. What does your shirt say?
Ming Ching
I've
said
done that before.
Yeah.
I've done that
Oh,
before.
so
What
okay,
does
that
your
way
shirt say?
it's just faster just to do it yourself and just.
It's faster
what I mean?
to get kicked out of being a governor too.
Oh, Ming Ching do that sometimes. That's what we say.
Put a whole new spin
I
to
put
being
Ching in there.
hands on, bro.
No, you're right. No. But I guess that was some of the stuff that they were talking about, stuff like that. And I don't know if he admits to that one, but I heard some of the rubbing on the back. Some of the rubbing on the back,
Yeah.
which I can see.
You do a lot of that. Dawn does a lot of rubbing back.
I don't rub women backs. I rub guys' backs. I rub guys' backs, and I know that sounds funny, but I rub guys' backs. Pause. A whole pause on that.
Dawn is very touchy.
I do not.
Dawn is
rub-
very touchy.
I don't rub nobody's.
I think you do it inadvertently.
No women.
I think you do it
back.
inadvertently.
I never rub Tony's
Was he
back.
the one talking
I
about
don't
the
even
massage
ever rub
parlor
her
not
back.
too long ago?
I saw you rub my wife's back.
Never.
It's
You-
fine.
Wasn't Don the one that wanted the
I'm
massage
fine
parlor?
with it. But if
Okay.
but if you touch my wife's breast trying to read her shirt, we're gonna have problems. All right.
I never.
All right.
First of all, if you want your back rub, go to the spa without walls.
Yeah, there we go.
Spa without
There we
walls.
go.
You know what I mean?
knew it was coming.
Where everybody's accountable. Okay? You got K-Love playing. Or if
bad.
you like gospel, we'll play gospel. We got Pandora on for you. When they come out with it and it makes a killing, I want you guys to give me 1/10 of whatever you guys make because y'all was knocking it, so that stopped my whole momentum of opening it up. I just wanted y'all to know that. Okay.
Oh man, I can't take this dude, man.
Yo, I'm telling you.
Yo,
Massage without walls. I'm just saying. Just a little curtain, a little, and it's a little thin one. You can see through, just in case any shenanigans. You can see through, and nobody's gonna pull no shenanigans with that. That's all I'm saying.
I think we got to update.
Let it go, bro.
I think we got to update the people. Dawn has the business proposition of opening a massage parlor without walls where everyone can see everyone else
with a little curtain. No, so it's privacy, just a little thin curtain, like you could see through it, the shadow and everything.
Did that stem from the whole Deshaun Watson thing, or was
no? That was from Ravi Zachariah.
Ravi, okay.
Yeah. So you'll have them there, and it'll be Pandora, whatever you want, and then now you don't. Even if you're tempted,
you can't because everyone's
watching you.
Yeah. And you could get a massage because Christians want massage too, and we're human beings. Sometimes the thought probably go across your head. Hey, if it does, go to my place. Spa without walls.
Yeah, he's making it very hard for you to.
There you have it.
Slip.
He's looking for investors
where everyone's accountable. Gino loves it. Gino's there.
I like it.
He's already there. Gino yeah.
Gino's gonna invest. Okay, first of all, that's what he's gonna.
I like it.
But this issue, man, is one that is serious, man. The implications on this and the ramifications is not only going to be race related, but this is going to have spiritual implications as well.
Why, Sam? Break that down.
Because especially today, man, we're living in a day and age where knowledge is downloaded rather than taught. Right?
Okay.
And when you don't have the ability to think critically, and in order to do that, you have to have the basic human skills of reading, writing, and arithmetic, right? You got to have those basic human skills in order to be able to think critically. So now, as let's say a churchgoer, you can go up in the church and the leader can tell you whatever. Whatever. And because you don't have the basic skills to go and search it out for your darn self, you'll just accept it based upon how it makes you feel. Which we already start to see a lot of that happening as it is anyways.
That's been going on for a minute.
And that's even with people having the ability to read, write, and do math. But imagine now a people that don't have that. A whole generation that does not have that. Bro, you could tell them anything. And now all the history and all the true history that we are so-called learning today, you could just undo all of that. You could wipe all that out because now I could tell you whatever I want. You don't have the ability to reason and to think and to search it out for yourself. So what are you going to do?
So hold on, though. Gemma, when you read that article, and Zeke, when y'all read that article, we were talking about testing to graduate high school.
Yeah, just for
so
the next
they have
2
a
years.
general. So let's not go too far in saying that there's not. Come on, to make it to 12th grade, you gotta have some type of capabilities.
No, you don't. Because my wife teaches 5th grade, and she's got kids who can't even read at a 1st grade reading level. And you know what? She cannot fail them.
At 5th grade already?
At 5th grade, bro. At 5th grade. Same thing with math. And same thing with
so
writing.
You're saying, okay, so let's do the calculations here. If at 5th grade they can't read at a 1st grade level, by the time they learn to read at a 1st grade level, they're in 7th grade, which takes them, by the time they're in 12th grade, they're at a 2nd, 3rd grade level of reading.
Bro,
that's the calculation.
And that might be best case scenario.
So you might be,
Bro, I'm telling you, this problem is way much more packed, if you will, than what is on the surface. You know what I'm saying? So we focusing on, that's where people get caught up, is just the surface level stuff. Sometimes we got to learn, you got to look beyond that and see what's being done already. Our kids are already being dumbed down. Now you enable them, you give them these participation trophies where they don't have to actually earn and work for it. They don't have to read. When do I ever have to think for myself? If everything is going to be handed to me based upon how I feel, when do I ever have to actually do anything? So if we're raising a generation like that, we in for it.
Well, you go back to them taking away cursive out of
blew my mind.
Yeah, because these are was a faster way to write hand letters,
right,
to pass on whatever notes or to pass on any information or any message.
How are you supposed to sign a document if you can't write cursive?
You got to print, I guess.
E-sign. I
Right.
think
There you go.
eventually,
Now,
inevitably,
anybody
they don't
can do
want.
that.
Yeah, they don't want you to write. Because right now my daughter's taking typing.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I
but
think
the thing
eventually
is-
they're gonna oust like writing. You don't need to write.
But your signature.
Your signature
With cursive,
is unique,
you
man.
can have a distinctive
Yeah.
signature.
But now, see,
But
this is
print,
where-
you really can't. It's really
But
print.
you got to see where it's going, man. Look at the long game.
They dumbing it
The
down.
long game is we take that away from you. Your identity is going to be attached to a number.
Yeah.
Here we go.
The apostasy.
Digital. Everything's digital, man.
Bro,
The apostasy.
We know it's coming, bro. This is the thing that we know it's coming.
dude. I mean, if you want
It's
to
a
look at
slow.
it,
It's a slow trickle, if you will. But if you leave a faucet on, even at a slow trickle, just leave it on.
oh yeah,
Over time, it
gonna
will
cause
fill
a
the
big
bowl.
leak.
It's going to fill the bowl.
Yeah, son told me this whole vaccination COVID thing. He told me his theory on it. It's a testing ground to see what they can make us do and how they can implement.
bro. You start taking
Us,
away. You
yeah.
start taking away basic entertainment values, and you can't do this unless you have this card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Come on, you can't travel.
You can't come in this building
It's
unless
like a
you have
testing
this
ground.
card.
Yeah.
Let's see how much power we got. Let's
Can't go
see
to school.
how we could implement programs through via TV, all that stuff, and see if we could make them do what we want them
Well,
to
let's
do.
just think about it
Maybe.
this way, right?
It's a theory.
Had this happened, let's say 20 years ago, now y'all know it would have been full out anarchy in these streets. Not just people back 20 years ago. If they had to come up with these mandates, you got to get vaccinated. Nah, people weren't having that. They couldn't pull the shenanigans back then. It's now because things are, again, knowledge is being downloaded.
Yeah.
People are not thinking critically. The man told you at the beginning, don't wear the mask. It don't do nothing for you. That's what Fauci said.
No, he did say that.
At the beginning.
In the beginning.
I remember.
Then all of a sudden, couple of weeks later, all of a sudden, no, wear the mask. Matter of fact, it's essential that you wear the mask.
It didn't say wear two masks.
Then you got double mask.
Double mask up.
But here's the problem, right? So people were freaking out. If you didn't wear your mask, oh man, you don't care about society.
Right.
Or am I just believing what the man said the first time? Now you believe in what he said. It's the
Second
same.
time.
Listen, the same man.
The same man. We believe in the same man. You just believe in a different timing. It's different timing. Yeah.
This is too good, man. I should preach this one. It's too good.
So I got a question about that. So
We got an in-studio question.
Okay.
what part of that is not evolution or learning about something?
Okay.
Okay,
Good question.
so
Great
we-
question.
So
But-
because in that essence, for decades we painted houses with lead in the paint.
Ooh.
And now all of a sudden
We take 'em-
we got kids eating paint chips and
Right.
they're dying from it. And now we're saying don't put lead in the paint. So what
Right.
was there?
So this is what
growth.
I would say that.
Yeah, for growth.
So he's saying, at what point do we not consider the evolution of learning of a thing, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I would say to that. We've known about viruses for a long time, and we've known that viruses, for the most part, have a very basic principle to the viruses. No matter what virus it is, all viruses act pretty much on a basic principle, right? So now they take that information and they told you, because coronavirus is not new. They knew about this virus years ago. So when you take that understanding of them knowing about this virus beforehand, and now they're telling you, don't wear a mask, it's not effective towards a virus anyways. It ain't gonna protect you.
Also, the virus is so small that if you have the proper mask, you're not doing anything.
You're not doing anything.
It's still going to go
It's
right
still gonna
through
go
your
right through-
handkerchief.
Right? Because of the
why-
droplets and so on and so forth,
So this
right?
is common sense type stuff. You know?
So now what the narrative became is, no, the mask is essential. You need to wear your mask, and then you got to double up on the mask. But here was the problem. People were still getting sick, even with having a mask. So my thing is that it's not about, I don't demonize people. If you wear a mask, you wear the mask. If you didn't wear a mask, you didn't wear a mask. I wasn't willing to demonize nobody.
Anyone,
for that,
yeah.
because that was your personal choice.
Right.
But you had people who were believing the narrative of the day. When the man said, don't wear a mask, people said, okay, we don't wear a mask. Then when he changed the story and said, no, you need to wear a mask, and without giving you an explanation, he never came out and said why. If I'm going to change the narrative now based upon evolution of knowledge, right? Should I not then tell you what that evolution of knowledge is? That, okay, we thought in the beginning that you shouldn't wear a mask, but after we've gone and done some research, here's what we found. And we are recommending you to wear a mask. It would have been just that simple, but they can't give you none of that. Because even within the medical community, they themselves don't agree. They don't even agree about the virus.
Right.
Whether or not it's even a real virus or not, or if it's really impacting people the way they're saying. So they can't even agree on that. So this is what I'm saying about information being downloaded. People are today, because of the way we get our information through entertainment and social media and all that stuff here, people have given up their ability to reason and to think critically for themselves and to search out for themselves, and they just assume, oh, well, when CNN says it or when Fox News says it, it must be true.
A great example of that was today in Sunday school. Kurt is head of children's ministry, and he allows me to teach the 10 to 13-year-olds. Despite everyone else's
scraping the bottom of the barrel
disagreement, Kurt has confidence in me that I can do this. So anyways,
you're good.
We have some great discussions, man.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you for allowing me to do that, because I'll be learning from the kids. You know my style. Let the kids do most of the talking. I do my little 10-minute spiel, and then they just do their thing. And wherever it goes,
You
it
just
goes.
learned that. Okay, let's go.
So we talked about Jesus Christ for like 10, 15 minutes, and then we segued into
CRT.
before the mask mandate.
Oh, okay.
First was the mask mandate, right? So, because I brought up, guys going back to school, how do you feel about the mask mandate?
Yeah.
And they all agreed, majority, every single one was like, yes, we should all wear masks to school. And I was like, why? Why do you think we should wear masks to school? And they were like, well, because this virus is out there, and if you don't wear your mask, you're going to spread it in the whole nine. And if you're not wearing your mask, then you're jeopardizing the health of other students and other people.
They all bought into it.
And I was like, so you believe this? Why? And it was like, because that's what they said. That's what they said.
Yeah.
All of them said that's what they're saying. Right. So, and we believe it. And I just wanted to bring that up.
Right.
So that's exactly what you're talking about.
He's talking about.
That's exactly what he's talking about.
And I'm not saying
whatever
that
they say.
Whatever they say.
Okay.
And that's the media.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm not saying that just because they said it not to believe it. What I'm saying is that we've lost the ability somehow, or at least the desire to think critically and to fact check. Let me go back and just hold on, man. I know you saying that, but I listen. I got to get a little Doubting Thomas in me, man. I got to see it for myself.
Yeah. And
I got to go. Yeah. I can't just, because too often, again, you see these guys, they don't agree, or they say one thing at one point, then they say another thing. So I need to know for myself, what do I believe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Am I going to agree with that? Fine. If that's after you've gone through your searching of it out and your conclusion was drawn that, you know what, nope, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna go with the recommendation.
And why is the media so biased? Because they're only showing scientists that agree with the mask mandate. There's a whole bunch of other scientists that be like, bro, this mask ain't doing nothing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And the thing is, what the worry is that the power of choice is being excluded now.
Yeah.
Because that's the big
you're demonized.
Well, that's what's up.
Right.
Yeah, that's the big worry right
And
there.
again, it's a slow process.
Yes.
Because if I can get you to do it here, and because it's for a good cause.
Right.
See, this is how the enemy comes, man.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
But
that's why I said this thing is
Angel of
spiritual.
light.
This is why this thing is spiritual, because the enemy
apostasy.
likes to portray himself as if he's a good doer, right? I'm coming to do good for you. I'm revealing something good. Eve, you're not going to die. In fact,
You're gonna be
something
like God.
good is going to happen to you. You're going to become like God. That's how the enemy likes to portray himself. So he ain't coming with no pitchfork and horns and all this stuff. That ain't the way he gonna come, because he know you're gonna run from that. But if he can come and like, yeah, man, I got the solution. And is that not what the scripture said was going to happen?
Yes.
That there's going to be something that's going to take place, and he is going to present himself as the solution. And because of that, people will be deceived. And the scripture says that the reason why Christ has to come swiftly during that time is because if he don't, even the very elect would get deceived.
We would even be deceived. Yeah. That's crazy.
That's how powerful that deception is.
Well, because look at it. Look what Gemma just said. Our kids already bought into that.
Yeah.
And
you know how hard it is to eradicate that thought out of their mind?
Oh, yeah.
You know how hard, no, not even to give them, to educate them on the power of choice.
Right.
Like if I was to go to my daughter and say, "Look, you know you have that choice. How dare you? No, that's being selfish.
Right.
That's being selfish. Right. You're not thinking about the others. You're not thinking." I'm like, well, I'm just saying, do your studying and find out facts that say support that maybe it doesn't work, and then do your own choice from there. Make your own choice from there. Guess what?
Listen,
that's not cool.
Let's break it down this way. Let's go to the court of law. Okay? In the court of law, you have a judge. He sits behind the bench. To be a just judge, he cannot just hear one side of the argument.
You gotta hear the whole thing.
He's got to have both sides, even if one side is wrong. Because at the end of the day, one side has to be wrong. But to be a just judge, he must sit. And a lot of these court cases, especially if it's a high-profile criminal case, bro, you're talking about sitting for days, hearing argument after argument after argument. And I'm pretty sure it can get taxing. Not only does the judge have to sit, but the jury has to sit and hear those same arguments. And before
and provide evidence,
any kind of, bro, you got to provide evidence. You got to come up with your whole spiel got to come out, right? And based upon that, the jury goes back and they deliberate, and then they make their determination. And based upon what the jury determines, then the judge, hearing the same arguments, he will look at the recommendations from the jury, and then he has to decide whether or not he's going to uphold what the jury said, or if maybe he didn't hear enough evidence or he heard enough evidence to go with the opposite, and then determine what his final judgment is going to be. So if we can operate that, and that's considered to be what we call it, justice, right? That's our justice system, right? So if we do that in our justice system, why is it bad for us to do that just with our everyday life, bro? Why is it bad for us to take both sides? Okay, one side may be wrong, but let me hear both sides. I want to hear what you got to say, And based upon the evidence that you bring me, now I can make an educated decision on whether or not do I believe that this is right for me or wrong for me. And everybody may decide a little different. This is why in some jury cases, right, you got some juries who say, nah, he wasn't guilty. Another jury might say, nah, bro, he was guilty. And they heard the same argument. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Why we do this to each other in society? Bro, you can hear the same argument, and your determination may come out different from mine, but at least I can respect the fact that you heard both sides. Mm-hmm. But when you tell me you only heard one side and that's what you went with, and then get mad at me because I decided to hear the other side, come on, man, that's whack.
It's scary, man. You go to stores now. I be going to stores, and it says, if you have been vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask. If you haven't been vaccinated, you have to wear a mask.
Right.
And I'm like, who's checking who?
Right.
Who's checking who? It's against the law to check me. If I go in that store and be like, have you been vaccinated? I'll be like, yo, I think you're violating my rights.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, now it is. Well, they're trying to make it mandatory that you have to provide proof.
It's scary, yeah.
Also, it doesn't make sense, though, because whether you've been vaccinated or not, that doesn't deal with the spread.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can still spread it.
That got nothing to do with the spread. So what is the point? What is the point? I don't understand the point
it's
of that.
It's scary, man.
Yeah. It's crazy. So it goes back to how we process information. So again, now going back to the Oregon thing, when you take away those basic functions, now it's easier for me to manipulate the masses if the masses don't have the skills to think for themselves.
Well, wasn't that the back in the slavery time?
Yeah, that's
what you're alluding to, right? I know. I got you. I'm with you.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
Because they made sure, don't let them read and write.
Oh, yeah.
You let them learn how to read and write.
It's
and
a
then
rap.
Look what happened when you did.
It's a rap.
Them Negroes were smart. They started, bruh.
No, and then they went as far as what Chino said, making I think in Europe, right, Chino? In Europe, a slave Bible, and they took out certain parts.
The slave Bible.
They took it so that because they didn't want you to get the truth.
They didn't want you to think that you could be free.
Yeah.
That not only could you be free, but you had the right as a human being to be free.
So
Afraid of the
so once
uprise,
y'all
exactly.
once
Afraid of
y'all
the
learned how
uprise.
to read, they started doctoring what y'all was reading.
Right.
Yes, exactly. You had to.
That's
Now,
crazy.
my problem with another, I'm not going to say my one problem, but another problem I have with what went down in Oregon is if it was truly about, giving kids some relief during the pandemic, why is this a 3-year bill?
Right.
Like, are they anticipating schools being virtual for the next 3-4 years? Or
Where'd that number come from, right?
Why can't it be on a year-to-year basis?
Yeah, where 3 came from, right?
Because now you got a 3-year gap of kids just skating by with not even the bare minimum.
And that's going to have now.
That's a big
thankfully,
gap.
right now, that's only happening in one state.
Thank God.
Thankfully, I'm just I don't
Listen,
I don't
over
say-
there, they
Bro,
got a lot
thankfully.
of. Everybody gonna farm anyway. Nah, just joking.
But could you imagine if this was a federal mandate?
Yeah.
Bro,
Now,
we'd be in
look,
trouble.
Here's the thing, though, and I'm gonna turn the mirror on parents, and
Go ahead, Zeke. Go
this
ahead.
is what you gotta do, because me and my wife, our son is in the Greece school district, and we attend any type of meeting or function or whatever. We're there, like
Active,
we
present.
we got to move heaven and earth to be there. We're there, and I can't tell you how many times the teachers and the administrators they thank us for showing up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
That's
in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't like to make everything racial, but are the white parents getting thanked for showing up? Or are they thanking us because to see not only my son have support, but mother and father
Maybe they see a
are
pattern.
showing up?
Maybe they
to
see
be-
patterns, and when they don't see that pattern, they're like, "Wow, that's
and
awesome."
that's the thing. Like you gotta invest in your child. Don't leave your child's education up to whatever the school system says.
Oh, you gotta be
you got to be invested in your child's education, because it's one thing to sit back and complain about what the schools are teaching these kids, but what are you doing to counteract that? Or are you just sitting back and saying, "Well, learn for yourself"? Well, they're still your child. You gotta guide them in which direction that they should be learning. If you just sit back and treat school as a daycare, and I got 8 hours of myself, I get to go do what I want to do. Like, I mean, hopefully you're at work, but I'm talking to the community I'm talking to. A lot of them, they aren't at work. They just
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, guys, we got to get ready to wrap up.
already.
Yeah, man. But I'm
was
going to allow
just
you guys
getting
to give
good.
one final word. So, Gemma, what's your final word for the
got nowhere to
folks,
go.
for our TATS Nation?
My final word is, man, although the intention is noble by this bill in Oregon,
No, it's not.
thanks, Zeke. Because I think it's being backed by a lot of educated African Americans.
That don't mean it's no.
I think they're trying to help the African American, the 2% of black people in Oregon, and they're saying that they're being affected the most.
White people might need it too.
Although
bro.
I
Come on.
think the intention is noble, I think they're going about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Completely wrong. And I would like to reach out to blacks and Hispanics in the United States of America. Stop supporting the idea that we need special help, that we can't do it for ourselves, and stop looking for the government to fix our internal problems.
Amen. Amen.
Well said, Jabba. Well said.
Don Dada, what's your final word?
Well, Jamma said it perfectly. Yeah, definitely. And again, I agree with what you're saying. I think this is bigger than what it seems. I think this is a start of something. Again, spiritually, I go back to play my Lou card. You know what I mean? I think that we have to put God back in the position that he needs to be in. America, we're going far away. I don't know how much time we got left. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but man, we really got to self-examine ourselves, man. We got to get back to the Word of God, and we got to get back to God in the homes in America. Now, is that going to help America? Jamma thinks so. But I don't know.
I think it'll help families, man.
It will.
Regardless of nation.
Regardless of
definitely.
individual
Definitely.
base, yeah.
All right, Big Zeke, what you got? One final word for the people.
I think this is gonna be a community effort. And word, Tony said, "Hey,
Tony Vargas.
hey,
wow.
you been gone long enough."
Loud too. Wow. Tony. Oh wow, real loud.
Not
That's
even,
to show you how much power and how much machismo he
not
runs
even
his house
wifey,
with.
not even my love,
Yeah,
not
nothing
even
like
baby
love.
girl. Tony
No,
Vargas.
it said boss. It said boss Tony
Now
Vargas.
he about to send her a text, babe. We almost done. I'll be there as soon as possible. All right,
That's what I just texted.
I know you, man.
It said
Look,
Tony Vargas
you
said,
can-
"Get your butt home."
You can front on the people, but we know the real. Anyway, this is gonna take a community effort, and we gotta get to the point. My high school baseball coach reached out to me not too long ago. I guess they want to reinstitute the my brother's keepers program.
Dope.
And I'm all for it. Like if whatever I can do, whatever little bit of help I can do to reach back to help these kids, whether through some kind of mentorship or whatever. It can't just be about my kid.
That's right.
Because a lot of these kids are born into a situation where the parents don't know how to be parents. And if whatever resources that we have, if we can spread it to our kids, but also take time to reach 2 or 3 other kids, it'll definitely have a bigger impact on the community. So if we want to see change, it's got to be more than just what's going on in my house. Take care of home first, but don't take care of home solely.
Change starts one household at a time. That's quote from Don Dada. Yo, you gotta learn where that at. You gotta learn where that button at.
I know where it's at. I just
My man said it wasn't cheer-worthy.
He said, I know where it's at. Definitely know where that at. And I know where it's not gonna be pressed.
Not today.
Oh man. Well, my final word, man, is don't fall for the shenanigans, man. Don't fall for the shenanigans. Realize that if we're going to do better as a people, we're going to have to challenge ourselves to do better. It's not going to happen through taking or making things easier. You don't make things easier to make a child great. You have to challenge that child. When a child is struggling with something, you don't make it easier for him. You challenge him to keep going. Don't give up. I tell my son that all the time. Even when he's playing video games, he might play a video game and, there's levels and whatnot, and he might get to a level and he's struggling with it, and he'll get frustrated and want to throw the control and all that stuff. And I come behind him, yo, chill. Gather yourself, pick the controller up.
Try again.
Try it again.
Think it through.
Oh, but it's too hard, Dad. No. Try it again. Did you not just pass the last level? Okay. You could pass this one.
Use your brain. That's my main line on my
These
kids.
kids got to know that. These kids
Use your
got to know
brain.
that.
Use
That's what you gotta
it.
do, man.
Failure isn't always a negative thing.
No.
If you got to learn from your failures. Take
And-
your failures,
it makes
turn
you
it into
better.
a positive, and progress the next time you got to pass that lesson.
And that's a quote from Big Zeke.
Yeah, Big Z. All right. Yo, I think we should do a disclaimer though, so that we don't get blocked or something about the mask mandate and everything, and all the coronavirus information
Did
we were
we spread
sharing.
any false
it's
information?
I'm saying it's just an opinion. You can wear your mask if you want.
Oh
You
yeah,
should-
we
you should
not
do it.
demonize any
We're not-
choice you
yeah,
make.
we're not
That's
demonizing
not
anything.
what we're doing.
You know what I'm
So-
saying?
At all.
There is a virus out there. It's spreading, and
That's
you
right.
do everything you can to mitigate the spread of that
Right.
virus.
Educate yourself.
And if you feel sick, stay home by yourself.
Please.
Don't
Please
go.
do.
That's the biggest.
Oh, yeah.
If you're feeling
Right.
symptoms,
Yeah.
don't
Stay
go
inside.
anywhere. Yeah, stay inside. Don't
Wash
go
your hands, stay
Wash your
clean,
hands.
and all that good stuff, man.
All right.
Say your prayers and eat your vitamins.
Amen.
Zinc. Yeah. Zinc.
Hulk Hogan.
All right.
Yeah,
On that
he
note,
knew
Got hit with the line.
Tats Nation, keep riding. Tats crew gonna keep driving. We out.
Peace.
Deuces.
See ya.